Hello everybody, how are you? Today we'll solve two questions from المعاصر book. Final revision, talk about algebra. Question with me here, number 1. If z1 equal to plus 2 root 3i and z2 equal negative 3 minus 3 root 3i, then the principal amplitude of the number z1 plus z2. He asked about theta. First, we can add z1 plus z2. The result will be negative 1 minus root 3. It lies in the third quadrant here. Tan theta equal root 3 over 1 equals 60. Lies in the third here. We can write 180 plus 60 equal 240, and 240 subtract from 360. We can write 240. 240 subtract by 360. The result will be negative 120. Or you can using the third by this straight line here, negative 180 plus angle 60. The result will be negative 120. Negative 120, it will be negative 120 over 180 multiplication by here equal negative 2 over 3 by. The result will be letter C. Next question here. We have here determine our matrix 1, 1, and 1, A, B, C, B plus C, A plus C, A plus B. If we add column 1 plus column 2 here, we will get, look at here, column 1 plus column 2, or column 2 plus column 3 here, we will get 1 and 1 and 1 here in the first column, and the second column here, A plus B plus C, A plus B plus C, A plus B plus C. And here B plus C, A plus C, A plus B. We can write A plus B, C, height common factor between them, or coefficient outside. The result will be here 1 and 1 and 1. And second column here will be 1 and 1 and 1. And third here, B plus C, A plus C. We have to determine here two column equalities, and the result will be equal 0. The result will be equal 0 because 0 times this coefficient will be equal 0. Next question here. The equation of straight line passing through the point A, negative 1, 0, and 2, and the vector D, 1 and negative 1 and 3, its direction vector is. Okay, he asked about the equation of straight line. We have the point and the vector D. Okay, we can write x subtract and y subtract and z subtract. Write the point here in the top, negative 1 and 0 and 2, negative times negative equal positive. And here write 0, and here write 2, avoid point, and denominator here write the vector here 1 and negative 1 and 3. So you can write here y minus 0 will be y. Then the result will be letter B. Choose letter B about this example. Next question here. If x minus 2 power 2 plus y plus 4 power 2 plus z minus 2 power 2 equal 1, and x plus 4 all power 2 plus y minus 4 all power 2 plus z minus 2 all power 4 all power 2 equal 4 are equation of two spheres. Then the two spheres are, he asked about distant or touching internally, externally, intersection or intersecting. Okay, thinking with me here about the example. If we have two spheres and two spheres here was touching externally, then R1 plus R2 equal M1 plus M2. Okay, touching externally. And if the two spheres touching externally here, R1 minus R2 equal M1 M2. And if two spheres intersecting two points, then the distance between M1 and M2 greater than the difference between R1 and R2 and less than R1 plus R2. Okay, and if the M1 and M2 distance between M1 and M2 greater than the sum of R1 plus R2, they we call distant. Okay, it will be distant. So in this example, we must find the relation between M1 and M2, distance between M1 and M2, and R1, R2. We can find R1, R2, and we can find M1 and M2. M1 is the center about first sphere here. It will be 2 and negative 4 and 2. 2 and negative 4 and 2. And M2 it will be here negative 4, 4, 2. Negative 4 and 4 and 2. We can find radius 1 here, square root about 1, it will be 1. And radius 2 here equals square root about 4 equal 2. Then we can find M1, M2, distance between M1 and M2 by write the rule M1, M2 equals square root about negative 4 minus 2, negative 6 power 2, 36. 4 minus minus 4 equals 8, 8 plus 8 power 2 equals 64, and 2 minus 2 equals 0. The result will be 64 plus 36 equal 100. The result will be equal 10. Square root about 100 equal 10. Okay, then the distance between M1 and M2 equal 10. We must comparing between R1 and R2. R1 here 2 units and R1 3 units. If we add 2 plus 1 equals 3, and the distance between M1 equal 10, we know M1 M2 greater than R1 plus R2, then we call this relation between M1 and M2 is distant, or sphere 1 and sphere 2 is distant, not intersection. If the result between M1 and M2 lies between the difference and the sum between R1 and R2, then M1 and M2 will be the intersection. And if R1 minus R2 equal M1 M2, then we called it touching entirely. But in this example we called it distant because M1 M2 greater than R1 plus R2. Okay, understood? So we must choose what? Distant. Choose letter A about this example. Next question. If vector A equal I, J, K, eight of them. Vector B equal to I subtract J subtract by K, then vector A product vector A subtract vector B. Okay, first we must find vector A subtract by vector B. Vector A subtract by vector B equal what? We know vector A, the order here about vector A, 1 and 1 and 1, I, J, K. And vector B, we give in this example equal 2, negative 1 and negative 1. 2 and negative 1 and negative 1. We can find the difference between them. 1 minus 2 equal negative 1, 1 minus minus 1 equal 2, 1 minus minus 1 equal 2. Then we can find vector A cross A subtract by B vector. We can find determined here I, direction J, direction K. Right, first vector A 1 and 1 and 1. A subtracted by B negative 1, 2 and 2. We can find the result here by using calculator, or simplest this vector or this determined here by using calculator or your thinking. Cancel here. If you put here 1, cancel vertical and horizontal and find the result. The result will be 0 and negative 3 and 3 equal negative 3j plus 3k. Choose letter what? Negative 3j plus 3k. Direction here. Choose letter B. Next question here. If E equal matrix K, and 0 outside here, then determine A multiplication, determine adjoint A equal space. Okay, we know A power negative 1, the inverse about vector or this matrix A, it will be determined about A multiplication by adjacent or adjoint A. Again, inverse about vector or verse matrix A, verse about matrix A equal 1 over determined A multiplication adjoint A. We know A power negative 1, it's inverse. Inverse it will be 1 over A. And we can doing cross here. Then A multiplication by adjoint A, okay, cross. The product of streams equal product of means here. Then A product or cross about adjoint A will be determined A. If we do it, we get number, but we must write here I to get the matrix. Again, we know e power negative 1 inverse about a equal 1 over determined a multiplication adjoint a equal 1 over a. It's meaning a power negative 1. We can use in cross here 1 equal I here. A times 1 multiplication adjoint a equal determined a multiplication by I. And then he asked about what? He asked this example, want to find determined about a cross determined about adjoint a equal determined about a dot I. We know k and k and k, it's a matrix A, and we know matrix A k and k and k 0 and 0 and 0, and here 0 and 0 and 0, the result will be k power 3. Then we can complete it here. This result here determined about k power 3 multiplication by I, determined k power 3 multiplication by I, it's meaning k power 3. Okay, I will complete it here. Complete it here. It will be k power 3, k multiplication by I. Then we know k power 3 multiplication by I, it's meaning k power 3, k power 3, k power 3, 0, 0, 0 and 0 and 0 and 0. Then we can find the result here, determined about these diagonals, k power 3 times k power 3 times k power 3 is equal k power 9. Then we can find k power 9, the result will be k power 9. The result will be k power 9. Okay, understood? The result will be letter C. Again, I will solve it again, explain it again. Okay, look at with me here again. We know a power negative 1 is inverse about matrix A equal 1 over determined A multiplication adjacent A or adjoint A. We write here cross A cross adjoint A equal A determined A multiplication by I. Don't write here determined A only. We must write I behind it. If we write it here matrix A, we will get the number. But we told here talk about matrix. You must write I here. And use distributive about determined all term here, determined A multiplication or cross determined adjoint A equal determined about A multiplication by I. The result will be here k power 3 power I multiplication by I here. It's meaning k power 3 k power 3 k power 3 because I equal 1 1 1 0 0 0 multiplication k power 3 about all terms here. It will be the result about this result here will be equal what? Determined about k power 9. The result will be k power 9. K power 9. Okay, letter C.